What's going on? We back with the Boxing Clinic. More your boy CJ Goodfella, back grinding. Y'all know what it is, back on the boxing grind. Long day ahead of us, a lot of good boxing. So, I hear often in the comment section, I hear people say, well, I don't see what's so special about Errol Spence. Errol Spence is very, he's very regular. He's very basic. He's very, I just think Keith Thurman is just too much for him. I just think, this guy's just too much for him. He's slow. He's not, punch that hard. You hear that all the time. If I could show footage and really break down film and show what make Errol Spence so special, I would. But I don't like copyright strikes on my YouTube account, so I don't do that. But I can tell you what's so special about Errol Spence. And everybody, the same people that say that, turn around and say Gennady Golovkin is special. You know what I'm saying? When he got way less special effects or way less flashier things than Errol Spence. So that's just show you sometimes just the favoritism factor that come into play, man. And you know what it is. A lot of people just don't know shit about boxing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't. And you're talking about what make Errol Spence special. The beginning is basically it's fundamentally sound, man. Definitely fundamentals. Especially starting with his footwork. It's very underrated, and I think a lot of people don't know shit. You wonder why Lamont Peterson was able to move and outbox Danny very, very well in their fight, and why that didn't work with Errol Spence. Simple as the footwork. Footwork is the basic of it. Basis it's the basis of offense. It's the first essentials of defense. It's how you get evade attacks, and it's the way how you attack. Your footwork, your feet work is basically one of the first things you should learn in the sport of boxing, man. After positioning, after your position, footwork. Because what Errol Spence does, he's able to cut the ring off. He's able to step over where you're going to step to. He know you like to go to your right, he's going to step to your right. Because you're going to take your chances stepping over to your right, okay? Because you love to go right. So it's like in basketball, a good right-hander, even if they kind of ambidextrous and they good with their left. Well, I want to make you go to your weakest side, and I take my chances there. And Errol Spence, with that footwork, he's able to cut the ring off, put people in position where they got to sit and fight, even if they want to box and move. And what else holds those guys in place is the jab. The jab in your footwork and your fundamentals, with your feet and your base, is how you cut the ring off. You see Danny Garcia, he can't cut the ring off. You see a lot of fighters that let that fighters just move around the ring, and it could be a small ring, a large ring, anything in between. A lot of fighters can't stop that. That's Errol Spence, one of his best gifts. Excuse me. One of his best gifts is being able to close distance, cut the ring off. And when you're able to close distance and cut the ring off and make somebody, sit and fight, obviously if they wanted to sit and fight in the beginning, they would be sitting down and fighting. You wouldn't have to go look for him. And I think he's, one of three fighters that's very, very good at cutting the ring off that I've watched on film. That's him, Triple G, and Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo was not always that good at cutting the ring off neither. Until he got with Derrick James, he became an offensive fighter, and they worked on it. Ever since the John Jackson fight, he's been money at cutting the ring off. Okay? Like I said, the footwork for Errol Spence, that's just the basis. You heard Andre Ward. That's just the most essential thing that you can use in the ring, and it's one of the most lacked fundamentals in the game. A lot of fighters don't have the gifts to close distance, and that's something that it can be taught. But amongst the older legendary fighters leaving, legendary trainers leaving, it's one of the lost arts amongst training. You see Pacquiao can't cut the ring off. A lot of fighters can't cut the ring off. It's a lost art. It's a real lost art. I say about 90% of prize fighters lack of cutting the ring off, adequately. But then you talk about the jab. The jab has been improving. The jab is also very essential in cutting the ring off. It holds you in place. You put that jab in there, it disrupts the whole offense. It's not only a range finder, but it's an offensive disruptor as well. It's a part of defense too. It's a very essential part of defense. Because you want to close that distance, you're going to need that jab. Any pressure fighter will tell you that. You're not going to just be a great pressure fighter without a jab. And that this kid is. And then people say, well, he doesn't move his head. His feet gets him out of trouble. He might not have greatest head movement, but he picks shots off. His feet is getting him in position not to get hit clean and flush. Same as it with Triple G. People say he don't defend. Oh, you crazy. He might not be the flashiest defender as well, but he keep that backhand at home. He brings that front hand back when he throw it. He's always in position as well, similar to Errol Spence. They always in position to attack and defend themselves and not pretty much get hit cleanly all the time. But it happens. You're going to get hit when you fight in the offensive style. But they roll those punches. And I'm trying to tell you that jab is just as much important on offense that it is on defense. Very sharp. It disrupts the offense and it helps you close the distance on defense. Then you talk about, his body work. Body work is another lost art in boxing. Mike McCullum will tell you that, the body snatcher. He was talking about that at the Mayweather Boxing Club, saying how these new fighters don't go to the body enough. Errol Spence goes to the body. He makes that investment. You've seen that in the Kell Brook fight. Kell Brook was on fire. He was coming out, front running. But Errol Spence made the adjustment. He went to the body. And not only did he went to the body, he kept that perfect distance. Once again, that word distance, which when people talk about boxing the attributes, controlling distance and being the boss of your own ground and your own ring, that's underrated. He was at the right distance where Sean Porter, when he fought Kell Brook, smothered his work. He smothered himself and overcommitted where Kell Brook could just hold him and just went on the inside. Where Kell Brook, where Errol Spence was, Errol Spence used those correct angles and in the right distance where when he hit Kell Brook to the body, he would step over and Kell Brook would try to hold him, but he wouldn't let him because he's at the right distance not to get held. So he's a guy that's continuing to master distance, continuing to close distance, and is very, very good at closing distance and cutting the ring off. And those are the things we're talking about. We haven't even talked about the athletic ability. We haven't even talked about power. Those are things that we could talk about down the line. Well, anytime you get in a position to close distance, cut the ring off, you working the body, those are all good attributes that go overlooked. All good. The defense, all those attributes that definitely go 100% overlooked for Errol the True Spence, man. Then you can talk about the power. The power is good. He ain't the biggest puncher. He ain't the biggest puncher of all time, but he's thudding. He's a workhorse. And his accuracy, his punch placement, he's very, very accurate. When he throws, he throws with bad intention. He throws to land. He's very, very accurate. And his offense, it flows. It's a dog-eat-dog offense. It's a get your hands dirty offense. It ain't flashy shoe shining and flashy head combinations that don't mean shit. These are meaningful punches being landed. You got throwaway punches that being landed to set up the real punches. This dude is very, very methodical and smart. And then you talk about the stamina. The stamina. He gets stronger as the fight goes on. As where Kell Brook couldn't fight at a high pace, Errol Spence stepped it up. He knew it. He's a very strong individual, and he steps it up very, very well. And when he fights at that high pace, he gets stronger as each round goes on. Like I said, he's like a good running back. Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, Walter Payton, Jim Brown, Adrian Peterson. The more in their prime you gave them the ball, Eric Dickerson. The more you gave them the ball, the more they wore out the defense, and the more susceptible the defense was to giving up big runs and big plays. The more the running back ate. And the more Errol Spence goes round by round, the more you are susceptible to him hitting a big play and stop you with a body shot or drop you with a head shot or drop you with a body shot. And that's what it is with Errol Spence. It ain't all, smoke and mirrors. It ain't all flashy hand speed. That shit doesn't matter. You got fast hands and fast legs. That at some point in the fight, the shit gonna slow down. When you dealing with the right fighter in there, something gonna slow down. And when your speed just drops off by 1/10 of a second, when you get tired and you don't move like you was in the first round, it's the 7th, 8th round. Guys like him is getting stronger. Guys like him can cut the ring off. Guys like him, they coming for you. Slow and steady, it's gonna win. And people talk about the power. He ain't the fastest. He fast enough. He powerful enough because he punches his places right. He knows how to create distance. He knows how to methodically break you down. And his IQ ain't too shabby. It's very, very shabby, excuse me. He's a very smart individual fighter. And not only that, he got good stamina. He got toughness. He got heart. He's a strong individual, man. He's a tough guy to beat. Like I said, he might not be the flashiest, had a Camacho hand speed or the Floyd slickness, but he's in position. He reminds me a little bit of what Andre Ward is. He wasn't always the flashiest and the quickness, but he was fundamentally and technically sound. And Errol Spence is a very technical, sound fighter. He's a fighter that's going to be in position and be poised to attack and be in the right spot at the right time. High IQ, good timing, you know, and a master of distance at, 27, 28 years old. He's master distance. He knows how to close the distance, and he knows how to cut the ring off. He knows how to rip the body, and he knows how to break a guy down, man. You know, for people that's trying to shit on his parade or piss on his parade, say he not this, he not that. I'm trying to tell you, if it was that easy to beat Errol Spence, you know, you see a lot more fighters lined up to fight Errol Spence, in my opinion. But y'all know what it is, the TBC and more. You know, just wanted to get that out there. I kept tired of seeing that in the comment section and over social media. And like I said, I get some of my greatest inspirations and videos from the comment section and from like boxing threads and other groups and stuff of that nature. But I definitely appreciate everybody for subscribing, sharing, and rocking out with us. And tonight we're going live, you know, live footage, no footage, live reaction and commentary.